Hi, so welcome. We're glad that you're joining us tonight. I'm Jen Rice. I'm in Naples, Florida, and I am here with a co-host, Stephanie Parker, who is joining me, and she's actually going to kick this off for us tonight, and then I'll hop back in just a little bit with her. Go ahead, Stephanie.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy that you're here tonight. I know that Karen has tried a couple of the products. That's my mother-in-law. So thank you for joining us, Karen. I just wanted to tell you my why. So Kelly introduced me to Olive Tree People, and I kind of jumped in head first and absolutely fell in love with the product. I have been done to not Pampered Chef, sorry, Premier and Mary Kay a long, long, long time ago, but really this brand is just something else. Like I cannot put my finger on it, but it's just amazing. I think the amount of support, thank you both ladies, as well as even from higher ups has been amazing. There's so much communication and opportunities to learn and to grow. And I'm not a skincare person. I'm not a makeup person. I am like quick and easy out the door, but they have made these products so easy to use. And I didn't know my skin needed it. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, started getting these products and absolutely fell in love with each and every one of them. Um, so I think if I had to list my favorites, that's really, really hard for me to do because I literally have loved every single one. But I think the one that has probably kicked it off for me was F59, which, as other people may know, is Botox in a bottle, because I have seen visible results, in my fine lines across my forehead and my little one that's here. So that's probably the one that screams out to me as far as an outside of the body product. I have tried a couple internals and they both have tasted wonderful. Like, you read these things and you're like, I don't know. I'm not sure. But both of them have been wonderful. So the first one that I tried is I70. And then the second one is part of the Ladope line. So is it 001? I think it's 001. And I really, really loved both of them. Um, I do feel like I have more clarity. I do feel like I am able to focus a little bit more. Um, and it's setting a routine for me, being intentional and trying to be intentional in different aspects of my life. So if I feel like if I'm holding myself accountable by doing this every morning, it's helping me throughout the day to stay accountable, if that makes sense. I guess. Yeah. So those are the two that I really, really love. But the other one that I'm going to shout out is F86 because Kelly worked with another skincare line. And when I moved down here, I was like, I don't need it. I've got humidity. Ah, my skin is so happy. And not that long ago, I got F86. Holy cow. Like, the amount that my skin is absorbing of F86 is crazy. Um, so yeah, as a busy wife, mom, and nurse, um, I have come to the conclusion that it is very important for me to take time for myself. If you follow me on social media, a lot of my posts for Olive Tree People say self-care is but what I put, self-care is skincare or something like that. I'm trying to embrace that and help other women realize that self-care is important. I think as women we give and give and give and give and give. So this is me trying to let other women know that you are just as important as everybody else you give to. So there
I
you go.
love that. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you though, how soon did you notice a change in your skin? Because for me personally, it was like just a use of just like even one use of a specific cream that was just super hydrating that I could
Yeah.
just immediately feel the difference because of the waterless formulation. I'd never used a skincare that wasn't water based.
Yes. Yeah. So I think with the F59, it took a little bit longer. I think that I was pretty skeptical,
Hmm.
at first. So I think I didn't see the results because I wasn't as willing to see the results. But I did probably honestly within 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, wait a minute, this little dark spot is definitely subsided. Wait a minute, these little lines are not nearly as visible. But I can tell you, F86, the first time I used it, I was like, holy cow. Wow.
And that
Um,
one is the vegan hyaluronic
yes,
serum, right? Which is
yes.
has a gold label, which the gold label is corrective, which means it's a little more concentrated
Hmm.
than our black label. But if you're listening to this replay, your consultant could definitely go over that with you. But yeah, I love hearing that from you, and the fact that taking time for yourself is so key. I know for me, it's sort of almost ritualistic
Yes.
of like, yeah. And it doesn't have to be a ton of steps either. A lot of
Mm-mm.
times we have customers start with just a couple things. I think that's always a good idea. But I was going to back up and just share a little bit about the company and me and how I got started in this. So, like I said, my name is Jen, and I have been a practicing dermatology PA for almost 20 years, and it's flying, flew by. Although looking back, maybe it didn't fly by as fast as I think. But now that it's here, I feel like it's been 20 years. But anyway, I've tried a lot of skincare over the years, and obviously exposed to it day in and day out, and I was previously with another company that was dermatologist based. But when Kelly, who is also on the call here, she came across this company through someone she knew, and the products and the mission of Waterless, and the fact that these products were more holistic. There was
Mm.
also this whole slew of, internals, like you were talking about the I70. She said, Jen, we just take a look at this and let's just, I mean, just tell me what you think. And honestly, I didn't have very high expectations. I kind of thought, well, sure, I'll do that for her because we've known each other for a long time and I trust her. But I just, when I went to the website and I started reading the founder's story, and just the way that it was all put together, where beauty was coming from the inside out, as well as, of course, these great topical products. And that his whole mission, which had gone back 21 years now, it wasn't like this just started like last year and we're just getting up and running. I mean, there's a big foundation to the company too, and it immediately drew me in, and I could not stop just going through the whole website because it's
Hmm.
actually a beautiful website too. And then when you start going into the education part of it and start trying to learn what exactly is in this that's making it different. Why was it so popular for 20 years in Europe? How has it gotten off the ground so quickly here in the United States? And it basically had to do with the formulation being waterless, and then having the hydroxytyrosol, which is from the olive leaf plant. So the olive leaves, when you press on them, they create an elixir that is what is used in the base of all of our products. So instead of most products will have, a water and then you put the extra stuff on top. We have the hydroxytyrosol elixir, which is concentrated. It doesn't have any water except for what maybe comes out of the leaves. And then start adding the other actives. And so it's super concentrated. And what this product does is that the olive tree, which, once I learned about one thing, you have to start learning about another and another and another. So what I learned about the olive tree, which I had never really considered before, is that these trees live to be 1,000 years old. Some of the trees, he told us, can be 4,000 years old. I mean, I can't even imagine a tree somewhere that has been there like thousands of years, right? And it's just so cool. And so, what makes that tree resilient and hardy and able to weather all the changes that probably happen in the environment and certainly have happened over, decades? And um, that same inert and innate, I mean, ingredient is something that can help us protect ourselves, create a high antioxidant, anti-inflammatory base, something that's supporting our collagen and elastin, so that we're working on the firmness of our skin. And we know that um, inflammation is such a big part of skin disease, and I see that all the time at work, where you try one prescription and sometimes it helps a little bit, but then the problem comes right back, and then you try something else, and then kind of works for a while. And what I think I had been missing all along is that there's just the baseline inflammation that people are experiencing, and we're just not really equipped to kind of remedy that for people in the clinic. We just It's just medicine just doesn't necessarily work that way. So I think that one thing that got me really excited about this product line is that people can, kind of self-start and put themselves on these things that help lower inflammation. And that was where I wanted to dig into. The first product that Thomas ever created was the I01. And this is, I means ingestible or internal. And one is, of course, the first product. And this is the olive tree concentrate with, the hydroxytyrosol and camu camu, which is an Amazonian kind of super antioxidant. They say 3,000 times more potent than even vitamin C. And it is something you can take daily for um, improving your immune system, certainly helping prevent colds, flus, viruses, similar to the LA dope that you're taking. I mean, they kind of a little bit interchangeable, except yours has some hemp component to it. But the same premise is that high antioxidant, lowering inflammation. When we do that in the gut, it can help the skin, which makes a big difference. And people will also say that if you could only buy one product from us, it should be an ingestible, because starting there is key. And if you already love your current, skincare line, this is a fantastic add-on product because it's going to work totally different. I know people that have autoimmune conditions, or like my mom has Lyme disease, and she's been taking this for, I think, at least 4 months, roughly 3 to 4 months. And it definitely, it's not like it's going to magically correct everything you have, but it certainly can lower people's flares. And we know, like for eczema, psoriasis, acne, rosacea, autoimmune conditions, yes, they're chronic. Yes, they're always going to be there. But if we can sort of squash down some of that inflammation, then we're really doing something, I think. So that one is fantastic. And then the I70 you mentioned, Stephanie, this is the beauty molecule. It has that potent ingredient we've been talking about, the hydroxytyrosol, and it also has hyaluron. And it's this is vegan, so plant-based people can safely be taking this. It has a really nice sweet-ish taste, and all of our these come with like a little, I call it like a sippy cup, but I know it's like a little measuring cup, but it's got you fill it up to a line, and so this comes handy. You don't have to guess how to make 17.5 milliliters, and you just pour it in, and it's actually delicious. I have a couple customers who they make mocktails with this most nights. A great way to like add this to like a sparkling soda or other non-alcoholic beverages. One gal, she was telling me her and her husband even drink it at night instead of like they're trying to kind of not do the alcohol thing much anymore, and it's just been really successful for them. And then I wanted to segue a little bit to the hot beverages that we have because we do have a few, and I know, we're really well known as a skincare company, but the ingestibles I think are very exciting for aging in general. And one thing is the pure olive matcha, and this is very potent. It's called I47. They also have another tea that is, I believe it's called like a beauty tea. And I have not tried that one, but if you look on the website and you get towards the teas tab, there's a few choices there. And I think you really can't go wrong, especially if you're someone who likes to drink tea and you're looking also for maybe even just to cut the coffee a little bit. Or this is much better as a midday pick me up than an espresso or a latte or a sugar laden latte. So I found this to be really great to take to work and like do mid-afternoon, so that you're also getting some powerful antioxidants, a little bit of a pick me up, but not sending you into those coffee jitters and things. And then olive mush is, there's the olive, which we know is coming from the hydroxytyrosol, but also mush is mushrooms. And what he's done with this, and this is actually a relatively newer product. I think it was brought out just in the last couple of years, and or maybe even in the last year or so. But anyhow, it is a great way to segue from coffee. Not that there's anything wrong with coffee, but if you like chai tea and sort of, you can either mix this with, it has a real strong, I think, chai smell. So I think you have to be a little bit of a fan of chai tea in order to really enjoy this. But some people will put it in a smoothie if they don't want to, have it by itself. I think Kelly's been drinking this quite a bit by itself. Dennis, my other half, he pretty much finished this like empty, but he really liked it too, and so it's something you can definitely try that is completely different, and it's giving you more than just the average, chai latte or tea would. And so, you know, with this, we also, oh, the one thing I don't have out here is the I66. So there is a collagen plus hydroxytyrosol. So if you're someone looking to get more collagen to help with, a little bit more mature skin types, this is very good. I actually do the I66 1 month and then I go to I70. So I kind of alternate them out. Some people will alternate every other day. If you have any joint issues, joint pain, I do think the collagen could be helpful for you. And we know collagen is very good for gut health. The I66 is swine based. There are some collagens that come from fish, some come from animals, some are more of a plant-based, but they have found that swine is the closest to our DNA for the assimilation. So, any supplement or additive to a product that you want to get into your body and actually have it, get into your system, it has to be able to be as compatible. Otherwise, you're kind of taking something and then it's not, it's like wasted money, right? Because just go right through you. It doesn't do anything. So this is so close to our own DNA that the reason they chose swine was because the collagen could be the most bioavailable and most efficacious, right, to us by doing it that way. And so you're getting a lot of bang for your investment there. And then I didn't want to leave out the olive oil because that is like so good. The olive oil is really good. It's cold pressed, it's high in polyphenols, it's great for heart health as well as our skin health. It's so good when you dip bread in it. Actually, put it on salads. We put it on we've even used, Thomas did this great demonstration where he put it on strawberries and fruit, and that is actually a great fun thing to do. So the olive oil is single source. So if you study some or start learning some about olive oils when you go to your normal grocery stores, the things that are on the shelf for us to choose from are pretty much like the junk food of olive oils, and many of the things up there are not great for us. They contain oils that are cut, they're refined, I've learned more about olive oil than I ever thought I'd learn. But what I learned is that I've spent a lot of money on really crappy olive oil in the past. So and that's because I just didn't know what to look for. So the things you want to look for in an olive oil are single sourced, unrefined, and then cold pressed. And it's also good if you know that the grove is how it's treated, like organic, like what are they putting on the grove, like who's in charge of it, and our grove is in Spain. So all of our products, inside, outside products, everything, the source of that active ingredient is coming from this grove that we own, well, that he owns, and that we're part of in Spain. And it is organic certified, it is monitored, it is well cared for. It is, I forget how many trees there, but it's a lot. And he keeps getting more. But like we mentioned earlier in the Zoom, that they live a long time, so he doesn't have to keep replanting too often, as long as they're doing the right things and working with the trees as much as they can to just keep them hardy. So you also um, you do want to stress the tree a bit, right? Like, so that's normal. That's going to happen in nature. So the last thing I want to close with is really the benefits of waterless skincare, because I think the main thing we want to drive home is that what makes this product so different from everything else out there is the fact that it is waterless and it contains the hydroxytyrosol, which is, I talked a lot about that earlier. But what does it mean when something's waterless? It means that you're going to have probably definitely a higher concentration of active ingredients. You'll have a good shelf life without preservatives, right? So you're still going to have a good shelf life, but you're not going to need a bunch of these synthetic preservatives. And then there will be usually enhanced skin absorption because waterless products often use things like oils, butters, botanicals as their base. I mean, we use the hydroxytyrosol as our base, and it mimics our skin's natural lipid barrier. So these are going to penetrate deeper into our skins where the nutrients are really needed for our skin to show these results we were talking about earlier. Eco-friendly and sustainable, that's a big thing. One thing Kelly usually will bring up too is the bottles. Everything I've showed is glass. Like if I drop this, boom, I don't want to drop it. So it's not plastic. It's glass, and there's very few things that we have in plastic at all. And so sustainable, eco-friendly, and then it has this sort of rich and luxurious texture that you don't usually find with a lot of water-based type of products. And then it's going to minimize irritation and redness. So because we've taken out a lot of things and just kind of put in what it needs, it's going to lower your possibility of having irritation, redness, skin sensitivity, skin issues, and problems with what you're using. So I hope tonight has been helpful and that you have learned something, but you definitely want to circle back to the consultant who invited you to take a listen to this. If you're listening to the replay, please circle back to them. They can have you do the olive brain quiz if you haven't already done it. And if you have other questions about it, or if you haven't tried any of the internals yet, I would highly suggest adding those on because they are amazing. So, Stephanie, anything in closing? I appreciate you doing this tonight. Anything else you wanted to mention?
I just, to anybody that's listening that hasn't tried Olive Tree people before, don't forget, guys, they have a 365-day guarantee. Like, you truly cannot go wrong. Like, what other company out there gives you this kind of amazing guarantee on top of everything else? So, I just want to say thank you, Jen, for inviting me to be here with you tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I have learn things. I'm still learning things every single day, I feel like, with this
Me
company. So I
too.
appreciate it. I really, really cannot wait to try the mushroom one. That's on my list.
Oh, good, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining tonight. I'm going to stop the recording.